What is up, everybody? In this episode of the Next Up podcast, I traveled to Ashwaubenon School District in Wisconsin to chat with their child nutrition coordinator and explore the wide world of hydroponic farming and how it can benefit you. We also touch upon the challenges and excitements of starting new programs, the benefits of networking at conferences, and share a few laughs over Zumba, video games, and hashtag fine wine. Join me as I get to know Kaitlin and uncover the possibilities and opportunities in the world of hydroponic farming. Welcome to the Next Up podcast. I am here in Ashwaubenon, Wisconsin, which is near Green Bay. It's actually in Green Bay, right?
Yeah, so we're the village of Ashwaubenon in the city of Green Bay.
So how come you guys call it a village and it's not like a city or a town?
I don't actually understand what the deal is with that. We're one of two villages in Green Bay, so there's Ashwaubenon and Howard.
Yeah.
And I don't understand.
I was driving up from Sheboygan yesterday, and I saw Village of Ashwaubenon. I was like, is it like a village? What makes it a village opposed to anything else?
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm here with Kaitlin. Kaitlin, you are the food service director here, and I was going to say your last name so people can laugh at me.
Let's hear it. I want you to
no,
try it.
I'm not even going to try it.
Attempt?
No, I'm not going to attempt it because I feel like the first time I attempted it, I did a horrible job and I butchered it, and I was like, oh my gosh, she's going to hate me.
No, I want to hear you try it.
No, I'm not going to do it.
Okay, it's tar.
Tar.
I. Nen.
Nen.
Say it together.
Tar, nen.
Yes, there you go. You got it.
It's difficult.
It is difficult. It doesn't
difficult.
look like that at all when you see it written.
Yeah, how do you spell it?
Tauriainen.
That is an
an
expensive sounding last name.
And it's so funny because my kids are 6 and 8, and they get so upset that people don't know how to pronounce it because obviously it's all they've known for their whole life.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't understand why everyone thinks our name is so hard to pronounce. It's super easy. Okay.
No, it's not. And your district name isn't easy to pronounce either. Well, it's Ashwaubenon. Like I figured that one out, but your last name's kind of complicated.
Yeah, sorry.
It's classy and expensive. I like it.
It's classy and expensive. All right.
You have to earn the right to be able to say your last name. It's kind of bougie. It is just a little bit. So I started doing this new thing, and I'm calling it street cred.
Oh. Okay.
And this is almost like your opportunity to pat yourself on the back and tell the listeners out there what you're all about and set yourself up as a subject matter expert, because I believe that we should celebrate the success of others as well.
Oh, I like that, but
yeah.
You're like asking me to do something that's really difficult.
It's difficult for me too. So we're gonna do it together.
As you can see, right, we totally jumped into hydroponic farming. So I feel like I have become an expert on how to grow lettuce inside a school in a climate that gets to like -30 in the winter where we couldn't be growing anything outside. So we installed these last spring, and we grow about 60 pounds of lettuce a week, which feeds all of our schools, and we don't have to purchase lettuce from anywhere else now.
60 pounds of lettuce.
Yeah, it's a
per
lot
week.
of lettuce. Yeah.
How do you manage all of that?
We have students who come down here and work in the farm area as well. Last year when we were first going, I wanted to do it myself because I wanted to figure it out. Learned really quickly that it's not a one-woman job. But I managed a little bit, and we got through it. And then I had a staff member that came and helped as well. So we have lots of hands on it, but it's really good for the kids. So
How do the kids, how do they like it? What was your first response whenever they walked in here and saw all this lettuce everywhere?
It was funny because I don't think people realized this area was in the school. For probably 2 months. So we told kids in the lunch line, like, hey, we grew this down the hall in the farm area. And they were like, what farm area? So, yeah, they really like it. We have units in all of our kitchens as well. So the kids see, like the elementary kids will see stuff growing in theirs. So it kind of connects it back to here a little bit better.
Whoa. So how many units are in this room?
This room has 18.
Okay. And you have how many more throughout the district?
We have 34 in our school district.
You have 34
we do.
flex farms.
We do.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, is that the most in the country for,
I think so.
for a school district?
For a school district, yes. That's what they told me anyway.
That is wild.
These of this particular brand. So, yeah.
That's impressive. But you guys grow more than lettuce here, right?
Yeah.
I thought I saw some peppers back there or something.
We do peppers. I planted a bunch of peppers and forgot which ones I planted where.
So now it's like a treasure hunt.
It is, which is also a little bit scary because one of them, I can't quite figure out what it is.
Ghost pepper?
It might be. It might be. I tried it the other day. I love spicy food, so I was like, whatever, if it's spicy, it's not going to be that big of a deal. I bit into it. My gums were swollen and my lip was swollen after I ate it.
Gosh.
So I fortunately know which ones those are now, and we don't give those to the kids because, no, we don't need to have somebody like puking in the lunchroom.
Well, it's funny because kids probably think they could eat whatever peppers that you grow. And it's a funny story. When I was in middle school, there was this kid named Ryan that rode the bus with me, right? And he was one of those, cocky, arrogant little punk kids, right? And my family's Jamaican, so we used to always, and I still grow peppers in my backyard, and they were Scotch bonnet peppers.
Okay.
And Ryan was running his mouth one day on the ride home from school, talking about how he could eat any pepper. It doesn't matter what it is, he can eat it. So I went home that afternoon.
Oh, gosh.
I picked a pepper off of my tree, and I brought it on the bus the next morning. And I was like, Ryan, this is the pepper that you said you could eat. You still want to go for it? And he's talking all this trash. Like, it was obnoxious, right?
No.
And he was like, yeah, I'll eat the whole thing right now. And I was like, no, dude, like, just have a little bite. Don't eat the whole thing. Just try it. Have a nibble. What does he do? Puts the whole thing in his mouth, right? It was the funniest thing I had ever seen in my entire life up until that point. Like,
was
his
he
face.
crying?
Oh, he was crying. His face literally swelled up, lips huge. He's hanging out the window of the bus with his tongue hanging out. It was the funniest thing. And I was like, I told you, just have a little tiny sliver of it. But he got what he deserved.
Yeah, he did. He did. I did that. It was a habanero, so it wasn't Scotch bonnet. But those are close, right?
They're very similar, yeah.
I grew them one time in my backyard, like when I first lived in my own house and had my own garden. And I went to the store and I thought I bought jalapenos, and I was like, I don't know what this is. It's it's a weird shape.
Yeah.
And it was like orange, and I'm like, it can't be that hot. I'll try it.
Oh, they're hot.
So I've done that a number of times now, and you think I probably would have learned, 15 years ago when I did that, but no.
I was at Nourish Farms yesterday. You ever heard of them?
Yes.
Okay, so I was down there just doing a quick little visit, and I was eating, produce from the farm, right?
Okay.
And I had this tomato, and I was like, oh my gosh, like tomatoes are actually fruit, because it tasted like a fruit. I'd never had a tomato taste like that before.
Yeah.
But there was this one thing, I forgot the name of the flower, but it was like it had like orange petals or pink or something like that. But when you eat and I guess they use this particular flower as a garnish at high-end restaurants.
Okay.
And they had a ton of them there. But anyways, so when you eat the little tiny stem, it's sweet, like sugar sweet.
Okay.
But then when you eat the petal is spicy like black pepper.
Oh.
And when Ryan was showing me around, he told me like how to eat it and pick it and all that stuff. And he put the whole thing in his mouth. And I'm like, oh, I was like, it can't be that spicy. Let me put the whole thing in my mouth too. Even though he told me,
and then you're choking.
Just have one petal. So of course I just throw it all in there. And I'm like, oh, this isn't that bad. And then it hit me, and I was like, whoa. And luckily it hit me off camera. I wasn't recording then.
That's good. Does it freak you out to eat flowers? Like, I know that a lot of them are edible, but I can't.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah.
It was weird, but it was kind of cool at the same time. And it was a neat looking flower. I'm going to have to find a picture of it and pull it up on the video or in the video or something, but it was neat. Yeah.
Okay.
It was really cool.
I wish we could see your pepper experience. You should have gotten that too. That could have been a blooper reel.
It
right?
could have been a blooper reel. I have to double check the video, but I know we have some video, and we're going to share it on social media.
Okay.
I think today.
Oh, nice.
So it'll be up there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So what's your favorite thing to grow here?
I love to grow like different colored lettuce because I think it looks really cool. So unfortunately, they're all in the back right now. You can't really see them, but we have some red leaf. We've done like I think it was called Bright Lights chard, so it was like a rainbow chard. Yeah, the lettuce is super quick to grow, so you get like the best reaction from the students and people walking in here.
How long does it take?
About 4 weeks.
Wow, that's crazy. Since I walked in here, all I've been trying to do is think about lettuce puns. Like, let us show you this. Do you have any for me?
I don't. I need to start coming up with some.
You should.
That's kind of my jam too. So I don't know why I haven't thought of that yet, but I'm gonna get on that.
Yeah, you need to. So I'm going to check in with you next week, and I want at least 3 lettuce plants.
Okay, for sure. I'll have some.
All
I'll have
right.
some good ones.
All right. So did starting this program help you increase participation, or at least get more kids eating vegetables?
It got a lot more kids eating vegetables. So when I started here at this school district 4 years ago, our students would only eat iceberg lettuce at this school,
Which has like no nutritional value
and
at all.
and it looks so terrible on the salad bar
Yeah.
because it's just like white and there's no color and whatever. And so we've transitioned them. We had to, this school and a number of other schools in our district, we had to mix the lettuce a little bit so that they would get used to the kind that we're growing. And
Yeah.
I'm kind of a frugal person, so I'm like, listen, if we're growing 60 pounds of lettuce, like this is the lettuce they're going to eat. We're not going to buy something else and throw this lettuce in the garbage.
Yeah.
That would be so wasteful. So we did have to train them a little bit, but feel good about that.
It worked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's cool. So would you say that you're actually, because obviously this is a significant investment to do all this, but have you seen a return on it yet? And if not, when do you expect to see a return?
I would say that we have. We remodeled, bought all the units last year, and we made more money in our program than what the units cost. So we were anticipating to lose money that way. But last year, lettuce was so expensive. It was so wonderful for us to have these units because then we didn't have to pay like $50 for a 7-pound bag of lettuce, which is crazy.
That is wild. So are there grants for other districts out there that might be interested in doing something like this?
Tons of grants, yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. I think there are some through your state that you can do. We got some money from a farm to school group that we work with. So I would just say just get creative about who you're reaching out to.
Gotcha. So why did you want to get into this?
So funny story. It was like the middle of COVID, and I had a colleague reach out that knew somebody from Fork Farms, and she's like, hey, let's just go check this out and see what it's all about. And I was like, oh, I guess. Like, I need to get out of the office.
Yeah.
I need to get out of this, like, crazy routine. And we went over to Fork Farms. They showed us the unit. They had basil growing in it, so it smelled wonderful.
That's how
and
they
it was
hooked you.
Yeah, it was like the middle of winter at the time, so
So it was like negative 75 degrees here
it was very cold.
before the wind
It
chill.
was dark, so we walked in and we saw these lights that are like so incredible. And I'm like, yep, I want to get 10. And the lady looked at me and she's like, are you sure you want to start with 10? And I was like, yeah, I need a new project. Like, I cannot do this COVID stuff anymore.
Yeah.
And she came out and toured our buildings to see where would be the best place to put all of our units and our cafeterias. And we walked through this space, which was completely empty at the time. And she was like, oh, you're going to put in a big farm someday. And I was like, yeah, okay, let's just back off a little bit. That's a bit much. And then, sure enough, like 2 months later, I'm calling her and I'm like, okay, I think I want to put in like 24 farms. And she's like, okay.
It was this lady, was it Sue?
It was Sue. Yeah.
Sue is a rock star.
She is.
Yeah, I love her. So we actually did a First Taste TV episode at one of your conferences a while back.
Yeah.
Was it 2 years ago? 1.5 years? 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
2 years ago, yeah. And Fork Farms was actually the main sponsor of that.
I know.
And if Sue had not have been involved and brought you in, that episode never would have happened. Like, I think she single-handedly put that whole thing together for us.
She spent so much time on that episode. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, she is passionate about what she does.
was,
Such an awesome person.
She was so adamant about having it look like a real kitchen when they did the cooking competition. She was like, you need to have hairnets and you need to have gloves and you need to have every single utensil that you might use in your school kitchen. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, yeah, excellence or nothing.
Yeah.
She's great. Love it. So tell me about your background. How long have you been in school food service? Did you ever dabble in healthcare, or did you come straight to food service? All that stuff.
So I am a dietitian first. I decided to be a dietitian like my second semester of my senior year of high school. Like right before I was going to graduate, I was like, okay, I need to think of a career path here.
You figured out pretty soon. I didn't know what I wanted to be until I was How old am I now?
Yeah, exactly. So my goal, though, at that time was I've been type 1 diabetic since I was 2. So I wanted to be a dietitian, and I wanted to be a diabetes educator and work with all the kids like me when I was little, because I remember going to doctor's appointments, and I have great parents that, you know, made sure I took care of everything. So I've always been like in good health and whatever. But I remember going to the appointments and people telling me what to do, and I'd be sitting there like, you have no idea what you're even talking about right now. You don't have to deal with this. And so my thought was, I'm going to be that person that tells them that, and then I would be like, oh, here's my insulin pump. So yes, I do know. I started doing that in my internship, and it was just too overwhelming. I think it was too much of one thing in my life. So my goal was always to work in a hospital. I wanted to work in a hospital. I thought that was really cool. I did that for 3 months, and it was the most boring job I've ever had in my life. So that was not for me.
I hear a lot of food service directors say that.
Yeah. I didn't like that you could obviously set long-term goals with people in a hospital, but it's not like you ever saw it through. So I worked on the cardiac floor, so I'd go teach people heart-healthy diets after they had a heart attack. And, you know, they're laying in bed like, I just had a heart attack. I don't really care what you're saying to me right now. I have this, like, big gaping wound in my chest. And we're in Wisconsin, so we have a lot of dairy farmers here. And we're telling them, you know, you have to drink low-fat milk. And they're like, I just drink the milk out of the cow. So it was, it was a weird... it was a weird job. Maybe had I spent more time there, maybe I would have, you know, kind of fallen into the pattern. But I worked with the Green Bay Public Schools in my internship as well. And then after that rotation was done, I continued working there for, I think, a year. I would go in at 6:30 in the morning and work until like whatever time I had to go to my next rotation. And then I would work from home as well. So really enjoyed it because you could set long-term goals and like actually see them through. So while I was working in the hospital, a job opened in a nearby school district, and I took that job.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So what would you say to other dietetic interns that are students that are about to be dietetic interns about the different areas to serve and what to expect? Yeah,
so I feel fortunate because my particular internship, each internship has a focus. Ours was leadership, so we went to every area of nutrition. I was in hospitals, nursing homes. I went to work in a grocery store, schools, obviously. So we got to experience the full gamut.
A grocery store?
Yeah, we have a grocery store chain here that has dietitians.
Really?
There. Yeah.
Why? It might be a dumb question. I'm a dumb person.
Why?
But why?
So one of the jobs that they did, and I think she completed it right before I started doing my internship there. They have like it's called the New Val system. So it's like a little score that they put on the price tag. So when you go shopping and you see like, I don't know, the produce section, and it tells you like $3 a pound for whatever you're buying. Yeah. There's a little score in the corner of it, and the higher the score, the healthier the product.
That's interesting.
So she implemented that. They do like a lot of wellness blog things on their website. Yeah, that was an interesting place too. It wasn't really for me either.
No.
But it was a different.
I used to work at a grocery store. My first job was at a grocery store.
Oh, really?
And I hated it.
Were you the cashier?
With a passion. No, I was a stalker.
Oh, God.
They got paid more, so I went for that.
I started in retail too, but at clothing stores.
Oh, I couldn't do that.
I spent my whole paycheck in high school.
Which clothing store, like Hollister or something?
No, it was called Yonkers. I don't know if you guys had Yonkers. It was kind of like a Macy's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So, yeah, I worked in the junior department at 16 years old and was like
your
unloading the truck and like, oh, I'm going to buy this.
Yep,
I'm going to buy this.
That.
Yeah, but
that's funny.
Definitely, I think everybody should work in retail.
I worked for GameStop, which used to be EB Games. When it was EB Games, it was cool. GameStop wasn't as cool as EB.
Oh, no.
And I spent my entire paychecks there because I'm a huge nerd. Started off as a temp in, what was it, like my junior year? And then by the time I graduated, I was a manager of the store.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, good for you.
Yeah, I'm a hard worker.
You got there.
I'm a hard worker. So did you have any experience in farming at all before you started this?
So I've had gardens, like, obviously at my house and my backyard and stuff. I'm not great at keeping plants alive. There's a joke in my family, like my daughter will water the house plants because I won't. And so
these all seem to be alive and looking delicious.
But I came to the conclusion. So I was laughing about it with some of my colleagues at work in our office the other day. And I'm like, you know what? It runs on water, so it has to keep the water flowing, and I have to keep the water in there. So I think that's the only reason I can keep these alive. Like, I don't have to remember to water them because they're continually being watered.
I mean, the towers do all the work for you,
They
really.
do, yeah.
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 So what's it like getting it set up?
This was a project, this particular room.
Walk me through setting up one flex farm.
Okay, it takes about 45 minutes, I would say.
That's not bad.
No, it's not
It took
bad.
me longer to set this up.
Yeah.
As you're standing there waiting for me, like,
no, it's okay.
Come on,
I was
Marlon.
emailing people too.
Yeah.
So it comes in like 2 boxes. It's like an Ikea purchase.
Oh.
So you just,
By the way, I don't like going to Ikea. My wife loves Ikea, and I hate it.
We don't have one here.
You don't?
No. The closest is Milwaukee. It's
Oh,
about
yeah.
2
'Cause
hours
my
away.
hotel was right by that Ikea,
Oh, okay.
like right in front of it.
Yeah?
I just hate being told what to do, and in Ikea, like, they make you walk a certain path.
Oh, yeah. I don't like that either.
Yeah, like, I like to just kind of skip to where I want to go.
It's a little overwhelming.
Yeah.
I don't really, I like to shop, but I shop online. I don't like to shop in a store.
Why would I get up and go anywhere when I could just go to Amazon?
I don't know. I went to try to buy work pants the other day, and I went to 4 stores, and I was like, this is stupid. I'm just going to go home and buy them on Amazon.
Exactly. Do the same thing. All right, so I'm sorry.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
2 boxes.
it's basically like
IKEA.
an Ikea purchase, which I love to put that kind of stuff together, so it's like totally up my alley.
Oh,
so the first
when
10,
I'm building my new studio, you want to come put together all my IKEA furniture?
Yeah, I put my desk together over there.
You're handy.
Well, I don't know about that, but it's like a puzzle.
You're pretty handy. I'm gonna stop interrupting you now.
That's okay. So it took about 45 minutes to put them together. This particular order, we had 24, I think, that we had to put together. So we had our eco club come down and help, and we basically had stations set up. And the guy from Fork Farms came out and helped us put the pump stuff on correctly. And then the kids whipped everything else together. I think we were done with the 24 in like an hour and a half.
Wow, that's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what next? Then what do you do?
What next? Well, then you have to fill it with water. That's obviously very important.
Wait, there's water in these things? Wow.
Yeah, there's lots of water in these things. And then you start the seeds in rock wool. They're pelleted seeds, so you can plant 1 per hole.
Okay.
And keep it wet for about a week. We have a flood table, so that's kind of nice because it kind of helps the plants grow quicker. We put nutrients in the water so that they are bigger when we put them in. So typically, if you don't have a flood table, the germination period is like a week. So it's a week to germinate the seed, and then it's 4 weeks in the unit. So for us, it's like a week to germinate the seed, and then it's 3 weeks in the unit because it grows so quickly in the flood table.
Okay, so is the flood table something that's optional when you purchase a tower like one of these?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
I would say it's probably not necessary if you have 1 unit, but obviously we have quite a few in here, so.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And how easy is it to clean them? Do you have to clean them?
You do have to clean them maybe 2 to 3 times a year. It's a little bit more time consuming when you have to do the deep clean because you have to empty the tanks out and spray them down. They grow algae in there. They have nutrients that are floating around. So they're not eating surfaces. So they don't have to be completely white.
Yeah.
But obviously you don't want green stuff.
But I mean, only 2 to 3 times per year. That's not horrible.
Oh yeah, it's not bad. I clean the top. There's top caps that sit over the drip lines where the water drips through. So I clean those probably once a month. Just run them through the dishwasher, just so they look cleaner.
Yeah.
And then the bottom of the tank where the water is, there's a top cap on it. And sometimes the water with the algae will drip out where the plants are plugged into. So there'll be like green spots on there, and I just wipe that down with a rag. So.
Gotcha. Do you, and is it even possible, like, are you able to produce so much lettuce that you're able to maybe sell it to surrounding stores or restaurants or anything?
So this summer, we were trying to sell it to our staff. So we did sell a little bit to our staff in the summer. I wanted to, they were kind of new last year, so I wanted to make sure I used them all summer so I could figure out like the ins and outs and the shortcuts and what to do and what definitely not to do kind of thing.
Yeah.
So next summer, we had so much lettuce, it was insane. So next summer, we're hoping to sell it at the farmer's market.
That's cool. Mm-hmm. Was it hard to get district approval to do that?
No.
No?
No. That was
Good.
like my big pitch.
Oh, yeah. So how'd you get this room? This is a pretty nice space you have right in the front of this high school.
Yeah. So I was lucky enough to inherit a brand new kitchen when I came over to this district. And they had this old kitchen space that was just sitting here unused. They called it the graveyard. So we had, it wasn't empty. It had all of the broken furniture and boxes of paper and garbage and still some old kitchen equipment from when this was a kitchen. Mm-hmm. So we ended up taking down some walls. There was a tray slide in the floor that we took out. I shouldn't say we, like I obviously didn't help with
did it by yourself. It's okay.
I did it, yeah.
No,
I just took a sledgehammer and so we had to do all of that. And we had the space available. I wanted to put it in a different space. We would have had to change the floor out. This was perfect. It has floor drains in it. It has the right kind of ceiling tiles. It has like hose hookups everywhere because it was a kitchen. Yeah. So so it was a little bit of a fight to get the space, but we have students involved and they're learning a lot in this area. So once you can show multiple ways to benefit the students, usually you can pass things through.
Yeah. Would you ever like put them at the front of a school and make it almost like a focal point? Because this is pretty impressive. Like we have some of the lights turned off right now just because the camera's going to handle all the lights.
Yeah.
But when you walk in and you see it, you're like, oh my goodness, this is like the Garden of Eden.
Yes. Yeah, I would love to. So we have right outside of this room, there's like a big open foyer area with nothing in it. And that's where I originally wanted to put it so that people could look at it. We were afraid that people would mess with the units. And then it was just going to be a lot more construction. We would have had to change the floor out and do all the stuff. So we just put it in here. But we did put windows in so people can see into the space.
Yeah, that's neat. Mm-hmm. So what's next for you? Are you gonna potentially get more flex farms, or are you gonna expand the program? Are you gonna move on to another new thing, another program? What are you gonna do?
So what's funny is after your Ignite event, when that lady...
Wait, what's Ignite?
What's Ignite?
Yeah, what's Ignite?
Well, Ignite is like the best party of the year.
That's right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Shameless
You're welcome.
plug.
I don't even remember what school district it was who won the Innovation Award.
St. Vrain.
Okay, so she was like growing lambs.
Yeah, she actually, so they raise cattle and lambs, and then they butcher it and serve it to the kids in their school.
Yeah,
it's pretty
so
impressive.
To not be one-ups, right? I come back, and I go into my boss's office, and I'm like, this is why this lady won. She did this stuff. And he looked at me, and he was like, no. I'm like, come on, we could just start with like one lamb.
Yeah.
And he was like, no.
That is hilarious. But you know what, though? Like, the reason why I love that Innovation Award is because it inspires other districts to do things that they maybe thought they couldn't do or didn't even know was possible to do or able to do. Yeah. So I'm glad that you came back inspired. Even though your boss
I was like, I'm going to do this. And the reality is, I'm not going to take care of the lamb, right? So yeah, there were too many steps. I'm like the idea seer. I'm not the like, we need to do A through Z before we get to, this end product.
Yeah.
I told my head maintenance person about this project, and he was like, okay, we need to do all of these things. Like, you need to put electricity in, you need to do this, you need to do that. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like, so next week we'll be ready? And he was like, No.
You sound like me and my team. Like I get these wild ideas, and I literally just I think about the idea, and that's A, and then Z is execution, and I don't think about all the things that have to happen in between. So thank God I have a strong team.
Exactly.
I'm not a details person.
I think so. You said cattle, which reminded me. That's like that's our next thing. I want to buy local beef, and serve like just mostly ground beef. So hamburger patties, chili.
That would be awesome.
Stuff like that.
So is that something that you're actively pursuing right now? Are you still like in the process of making it happen? Has it been approved yet? And you're just going to, like, where are you?
We're like in the thinking, planning stages right now. Yeah.
That would be neat.
I think there are plenty of farms in our area that we could work with. It's just a budgetary thing.
Yeah. And I hear that a lot of farmers actually don't even consider K-12 as an option, and sometimes the ones that do just don't know how to get involved. So I know there's some groups out there that help farmers get on board with schools. And
we have a really great, so we've had a farm to school task force in this area for, probably 15 years. And we sat down with farmers, and they made an online ordering system. So when I go on and order, 20 pounds of cucumbers, which obviously I don't have to do anymore now. But when I did, I might have gotten them from like 10 different farms.
Yeah.
Because they work on their back end to get all the stuff together to bring it here. So that's great. So we do fortunately have that partnership now where I just reached out to her and I'm like, this is what I want to start. I need to know prices. I need to know feasibility. Like, how is it going to get transported? Where can I store it? So
were they excited for the opportunity?
Yes.
That's cool. I actually kind of want to farm.
You want to have your own farm?
I do. It sounds so silly. Just even me saying it, I'm like, Marlon, you're an idiot.
But I do. Okay, but you're in Florida, so you could have like a cool farm. You could have like an orange farm.
No, I want cattle. Oh. I want my own cattle. Okay. So I went to my friends. Ashley and I, we were in Minneapolis for a wedding, and one of my good friends lives in the area, so just north of the city, I believe.
Okay.
And it's Kayla Byer from Deeply Rooted, right?
Okay.
So Kayla actually, like her home is on her farm, and her husband, he has cattle. They have, I forget how many heads, but it's a lot of cattle. But then she grows crops, and it was cool. It's called regenerative agriculture, I think.
Okay.
But it was cool seeing how like the cattle, like everything they do, where they walk, and the manure and all that stuff, like feeds the plants, and then the cows eat the plants. It's like this really cool experience. But just being on the farm, I was like, I don't ever want to have to go to the store to buy beef again, or to get vegetables or anything like that. Like, I want to be fully self-sustained. And when we were there, they served us some food from their farm. Sure. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, why am I not doing this?
Yeah. Do you want to know what I thought of when you first said you wanted to have a cattle farm? I don't know why, but for some reason I got really strong, like, Yellowstone vibes. And I just saw you with, like, a shotgun on a horse. Like,
yes. Yes, I would love to do that, too. Hey, I could actually ride a horse.
Can you?
I know how to ride a horse.
All right.
Yes,
well, there you go. Step one.
Step one. Check. No, but I think it'd be really neat. And it's funny that I want to have my own farm because I hate getting my hands dirty.
Oh, okay.
I cannot
stand
getting my hands dirty, but you know what?
You might have to get over that.
I did get over it, I think. Maybe a little bit. No, I didn't get over it. But I will. I will to have my own beef.
That's cool. How many would you start with?
You know me, like, if I'm going to
dive
into something, I'm not getting like 100. Yeah. All right. However many I can afford.
Okay.
We'll start with that.
Okay, sounds good.
But I also hear, like, in Florida, probably everywhere, like, if you have cattle, you get some pretty significant tax breaks.
Oh.
Which I would love to take advantage of.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that could be another side hustle. You know me, I like to have different side businesses, so.
No, not you, right?
No, not me. No. Yeah, have some cattle, sell some beef, make some money.
All right. Feed your family.
Feed my family, too. I don't want to forget about that.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So I can't wait till you get started with your program.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, again, it's super early stages.
Yeah.
The staff, I think my staff now realizes that I'm completely nuts because I'll call them up sometimes and I'll be like, hey, I got a really good idea.
You
And they're like,
sound just like me.
oh God.
I feel like I even called you the other day with the crazy idea.
You did. That was a good idea, though.
You wanna tell everybody what it was?
I think you're going to be better at explaining it than I am. I remember what it was. I liked it.
So I can't take full credit for it because someone actually came to me with the idea. One of my clients actually are partners. And she is into social media influencers. Like, you wouldn't believe, in reality TV shows and like all the different like Atlanta housewives and all that. So whatever. So she was following somebody, and I guess this influencer had this whole like stick where she would go try different coffee shops throughout her community and just talk about it while she's driving.
Okay.
So it's like conversations over coffee while driving or something like that, right?
Okay.
And she was saying that she actually moved to that medium because a lot of influencers are now on like, TikTok and Instagram. They're doing stories and reels and all that, but they're moving more to YouTube now for like medium to longer form videos. And that's why she came up with this new concept. And I guess it's going really, really well. So my friend calls me and she's like, I got this crazy idea. Here's what it is. And after talking about it for a bit, I was like, that might actually work. So what I'm thinking about doing, let's be real, I'm going to do it. I'm going to try it. I'm going to do it.
I was actually kind of surprised that you didn't call me and be like, hey, do you want to try it and see what happens?
I was going to, but then I realized I needed to buy additional like camera mounts and all that stuff to put in the car. So anyways, the whole idea is like a play off of like rideshare. So Lyft or Uber or whatever it is. And I'm going to pick up an industry member or a food service director or whoever it is from their home or from a coffee shop or wherever they want, and then drive them to work. And then on the way to work, we're going to have a conversation about, what do you plan on doing today? Like, what do you have to do? What do you want to do? What challenges do you plan on overcoming? Personal chat, like whatever, right? And then we'll have the conversation, and then I'll take them back home, and then we'll have a follow-up to it, and it'll be like, well, hey, did you do what you said you were going to do? Like, why or why not?
No.
Tell me the million things that popped up today in the life of a food service director that prevented you from doing your job.
That's so funny because I was thinking about it. After I talked to you about it, I was like, oh, my God, that would be the most interesting conversation. And other food service directors would find it so funny because
Exactly.
it's just your life.
And the thing is, like, a lot of people out there don't know what you guys really do. Like,
I feel like a lot of times
you're just serving food to kids.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of times we don't know what we do because we have a list in our head of what we're going to get done that day, and then we go to work and somebody doesn't show up, so we're washing dishes or we're, whatever.
You wear every single hat that you have to. Like, okay, you may be washing dishes one day, but you're running multi-million-dollar restaurants, franchises.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I keep interrupting you now.
Oh, no, it's fine.
One of my colleagues said...
You're so rude.
I know. I'm sorry. You're never going to invite me on this again. You're going to be like, no, she talks too much. Yeah. One of my colleagues said someone told her once that it's like we're putting on a wedding every day in each of our buildings, which is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You really are. Mm-hmm. You really are. Mm. All right, so now you got to help me come up with a name for this show because I have no idea what to call it.
So I was looking for one of my friends just started school. So we started school on Thursday last week, and then one of my friends started this week, and she's the food service director too. So I was looking for a gift to send her, just like for the first day. And they make mugs now that say Chaos Coordinator. So I feel like that's what you should call it. It was a coffee mug, and it said Chaos Coordinator on it.
Yeah, that could be cool. That would be cool. I just feel like it's important because so much of what I do, like even these conversations on Next Up, it's more about like the person because I love talking about the person and learning their story and like what they overcame to get to where they are. But there's a lot of value to like really highlighting everything that you do and other food service directors out there because like I said, like I was in a group chat with some friends the other day. They're all a bunch of directors and they were not really complaining, but kind of like joking around about how nobody knows what they do in the district, in the community. Like they don't understand the magnitude of the position of a food service director in a small or large school district. And I feel like this would give me a good avenue to highlight how amazing you are as far as what you're doing like operationally in your district and educate others, but then also inspire directors. Like you said, other directors will listen to something like that because hopefully it'll be entertaining, but there should be some nuggets of good information.
I feel like you should along with that, make it like The Office.
Yeah.
And you can just have like weird camera angles and stuff.
Yeah. And I was totally gonna ask if we could do it, but it was a lot of gear I had to buy. I didn't have enough time because I had this idea like last week or something.
Yeah.
And typically like I get an idea and I do it right away, but this one
That's all right. That's understandable. I'll give you a pass on that.
Next time.
But
don't be surprised when I call you and they're like, "Hey, what's your address?"
What's your address? Why are you asking? That was your fear, right?
That was
like,
my
people
fear.
aren't going to want me to come pick them up from their house.
Yeah, because I mean, like, for the people I know, there's quite a bit that I feel like would be okay, but I don't want to, like you. So I flat out said, I was like, hey, we're not, like, super close yet. We're going to be, but we're not yet. So you're the perfect person for me to ask.
What if I called you and asked you what your address was? Yeah. I don't know. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I also think that if somebody was that concerned about it, you can meet them at Starbucks or something.
Absolutely. Or a local coffee shop or something like that.
Leave your car parked here for...
And I ran it by my founding partners. So there's a group of, companies and people that helped us launch. We're still a startup, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And if it weren't for their trust and my crazy ideas, I wouldn't be sitting here across from you right now, right?
Yeah.
So I bounce all my ideas off of them because I want to make sure I'm serving them, but still being innovative and those sorts of things. And I don't want to, start something new that's going to be a colossal failure.
Mm-hmm.
And they all loved the idea. And they were like, I don't think people are going to care. Like,
I don't think
it's
so.
no big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so from a self-conscious standpoint, I told you I bought like a total fixer-upper house, and the last thing I did on it was the siding. I don't think I would have wanted you to pick me up from my house.
What if I wore a blindfold? I pull up in a blindfold.
Now it's fixed. So like now I'd be like, okay, this is my address.
I think one thing I definitely could not do is show any of my guests' house or like their mailbox with a number on it. Like it has to be secretive.
Just blur it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I was gonna pick you up for this, that sounds so bad, but if I was gonna pick you up,
it's a whole different kind of conversation.
Whole different conversation. Would you want coffee? Would you want tea? Like, what am I bringing you? Am I bringing you an actual breakfast?
Yeah. Oh.
But then,
I'm not
do
like
you
a big breakfast person. I mean, like I eat breakfast, obviously, but like I'm not a big breakfast person.
And plus, I don't want you eating in my car anyways.
So it doesn't look like my car.
I'm just kidding.
Because my kids eat in my car all the time. It's disgusting. No, I'm a black coffee drinker.
Oh, me too.
Black coffee.
Yeah, me too. All right, I can make that happen. Yeah, all right. I'm definitely going to do this. I'm so excited.
People are going to give you like the weirdest coffee orders.
That makes it even better. Like I want it to be silly. But you have
to film yourself going through the drive-thru then too and being like, I need an extra large black coffee with 10 sugars and 5 creams.
Oh gosh. And like, I hate going to Starbucks and using their names like Venti and whatever the other ones are. I'm just like, just give me a medium.
I know.
Yeah, it drives me crazy.
I do say it because I feel like I need to.
Do you?
Yeah. It does bother me, but I say it correctly.
Yeah, I can't do it. Yeah, I ordered the most like girly bougie coffee there is. Some pumpkin spice latte or whatever.
Those are the greatest though.
Yeah, they are pretty good. I'm kind of embarrassed to say I love them.
I love them too. I'm not embarrassed to say that.
Yeah, well, good. That makes one of us. That's funny. Yeah. So tell me about your role with SNA Wisconsin.
I started a couple years ago in the legislative committee. Now I am the president-elect. I got talked into that role. I really enjoy it. I should say, like I say, I got talked into it as a joke, but it's great. You were talking before about people not understanding what we do, and I love being part of a group where everyone just gets it. So we have a group text too, where we text each other like stupid stuff during the day that happened in our kitchens, and we don't even necessarily need anyone to respond. Like usually when somebody responds, it's like the crying, laughing, or like just the crying. Yeah. But just somebody gets it. Like that when you send them the text, like this is what happened to me today, you get it. Or you read them, send it, and you feel like you're not crazy living on an island by yourself. So yeah. So I'm the president-elect now.
Okay, so when do I get to call you Madam President?
In July.
In July. Okay. I gotta wait that long?
I don't know. I don't feel like I'm a Madam President kind of person.
No. So just call you Kaitlin.
Yeah. Maybe I'll wear my pin. We have pins now. I was going to wear it today just to be funny. I have a president-elect pin. But.
I'm going to change your name in my phone to Madam President.
Madam President.
Sorry.
All right. Well, you can think I'm bougie if you want to.
Yeah. So what are your goals for the association? Do you have any plans?
Yeah. I really want to get our profession out there. I think that there's a lot of negative, obviously there's a lot of negative viewpoints on what we do and what we serve to kids. Our administrators, I'm fortunate in my district, our administrators get it. I'm part of the administrative team. They value my opinion, so I feel really fortunate about that. I would say in my last school district that I worked in, that was definitely not the case. Yeah. And I know a lot of people around Wisconsin, around the country, are also in that boat. So we are trying to come up with kind of a canvas for people to work off of that tells them what to do when they go talk to like how do you talk to an administrator about your program? What do you point out? And then just, more positive media attention that shows that we're actually doing really great things for kids.
Apparently you guys are doing really great things for kids.
We're trying, yeah.
Yeah, I have one request.
Okay.
So wait, you get to plan the next conference, right? Because you're president-elect?
No, so in our state, the past president. So I realized recently that different states call positions different things. So like some states have a vice president and then a president-elect and then a president. We have a president-elect, a president, and a past president.
Oh.
So it's a 3-year term either way. But I'm on year 1 of 3 year.
Okay, well, when you get to plan your next conference,
okay,
can you ensure that we have polka music playing? So
polka music.
Wasn't it polka? Because I feel like
Katie Wilson danced to polka music.
You were dancing to polka at the last conference we were at together.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
I'll try.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to hold you to that.
I don't love it, but I like to dance, and it was pretty funny. It was pretty.
I don't know how to dance to it, so you won't be dancing with me.
They were trying to teach us. They taught us.
I know.
I feel like Sue was up there too, wasn't she?
She probably was. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate polka music so much that I have actively in my lifetime never learned how to dance to polka music because I just don't like it. I just said that out loud for the first time in my life. That was aggressive. That was aggressive.
I feel kind of a little nervous sitting here right now.
God. Yeah, I don't know. I'm like, I love all kinds of music, but polka music just really drives me crazy.
What's your favorite type of music?
Oh, like 90s hip hop.
90s hip hop.
Yeah, I'm that lady in the car that you're like at the stoplight with, and the car's like bouncing, right?
Yeah, you're the mom in the meme about the 90s music meme.
I am.
That's
me.
hilarious.
That's me. Comes on. I saw an Instagram thing the other day about an aunt going to pick up her kid from a party. When you're the cool aunt and you pick up your high school nephew from a party or whatever, and she's like, let's go. We got to go. We got to get out of here. And then the music came on and she's just like dancing. That's going to be me someday.
That's awesome. No wonder I like you. So I love music too. And I love to dance. And at the time when I was working in my previous job, before I started NxtGen, I was working in sales, right? And I had always wanted to learn how to salsa.
Oh.
And where I lived in North Augusta, South Carolina at the time, I could not find a place that would teach me how to salsa.
Okay.
So you know what I did?
What?
I scheduled all of my work trips around places where I could learn salsa. And it was one of my first trips to Wisconsin, and I found a salsa. It was a restaurant, but they had a Latin night. Okay. And I specifically booked a demo in Madison to learn how to salsa.
We have a ballroom dance club here. I've never done it.
Do you really?
I taught Zumba back in my college days, so I a little bit learned how to salsa then.
Really?
Like the Zumba style salsa.
Right.
I don't think it's real salsa, but it's it's close.
So real talk, I wouldn't mind going to try a Zumba class.
It was so fun. But I will say, I taught so many because I was in college and it was my job at the time that after a while I was like, this is stupid. I don't want to do this anymore. So I don't think I've done Zumba in 15 plus years.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. Is it a good workout?
I would still enjoy it.
Is it a good workout?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So my mom does Zumba and be like, Mom, let's go
Yeah,
take me to a
there's
class one day.
salsa. There's salsa and Zumba. You'll be like, oh, this is great.
Am I going to be the only guy in the class?
Potentially.
Yeah, I don't even care. Doesn't matter.
Maybe.
Whatever.
Sometimes I taught, so I taught family Zumba at the Y. I taught Zumba at college. So in my college class, it was all girls.
Mm-hmm.
The family Zumba, I think there was one like young kid boy that came because it was like you were supposed to bring your kids with.
Yeah.
And then I taught Zumba somewhere else, and there was a guy in that class too.
That's cool. My daughter would love to do Zumba.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that you've played video games.
Yes.
I'm not talking about Tetris, which you're probably horrible at.
Oh, yeah.
You're no good at Tetris.
I'm a world champ of Tetris.
Right.
I wish there was a competition. I bet there is
I'm
somewhere.
sure there
I'm
is.
going to have to figure out where it is.
But you don't get to enter it unless you can beat me. Like, I'm the gate to you.
Like, what's your high score in Tetris? Have
It's
you
a
made it to
number
the
so
200
big, I can't even
levels?
say it. Excuse me? What?
Have you made it to the 200 levels?
I can't hear you. I think we lost the audio.
Oh, okay. So you made it to like level 20. I get it.
Probably.
I get it.
Maybe. Anyways, so I think my daughter would love to do Zumba, and there's a game called Dance Central that's out. You ever played that before?
No.
Okay, so it's out on like PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo Switch, and all that. But it's music that plays on the TV, and they teach you how to do the dances from the music videos. And when the family gets together and plays that game, it is hilarious.
I bet it is.
Absolutely hilarious.
I had a game when I was a kid for the Xbox. I think it was called Dance Dance Revolution.
It's similar to that, but
yeah,
better.
it was like a pad, and you had to step on the...
Yeah. So Dance Dance Revolution, or DDR, you're stepping on arrows, right?
Yeah,
so you're not really like doing the dance.
No.
And by the way, I tried Dance Central, or DDR, for the first time at Fancy last year.
Okay.
With Sherry Ship, who works for the Dairy Council.
Okay.
And I absolutely embarrassed myself. It was horrible. But it's not like real dancing. Like,
no, because you're just moving your feet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like Dance Dance Revolution and Dance Central on the Xbox Connect or whatever. That one, they actually teach you like the real steps, the real dances from the music videos, and that's cool. Yeah, we should try that.
Yeah.
And there is a Zumba game out in Xbox. I'm just saying.
Do you know what's sad is that my biggest flex in life is that I'm excellent at Tetris. Like,
you're such a loser.
That's how you know you're very lame, right? What are you good at? Tetris.
So why wasn't that your street cred like
I don't
opening?
know. It
should have been.
I
Like
just
nothing
thought of
else
that right
matters.
now.
It's all about Tetris.
It's Tetris, man. I had when I was between my senior year of high school and that summer before college started, I dated this guy that was like super techie, like downloaded all this stuff on computers and
illegally.
Whatever. Yeah. So I had
course.
Tetris on my laptop. So I played Tetris. Well, and I always played it as a kid too, but I'm the youngest, and my brothers always beat me, and I get mad. Now I am so good at Tetris, like
See, that's
it's
how
not
I
even
know.
a competition.
That's why I know I'm better than you, because I've never lost in anything.
So now I feel like we're gonna have to for sure have a Tetris challenge at some point.
You told me you have a Nintendo Switch for the kids, right?
It's not a Switch. It's the OG.
Oh, it was the Nintendo.
Well, it's the new original Nintendo with all the games loaded on it.
We got to figure out a way to make this happen, because we need to play. I mean, there must be like a mobile.
I should have brought it with. We
version
have a
of
TV
Tetris.
right here. We could have plugged it in. And
That's very true. All right, so the next podcast
had a crowd forming of high
two.
school kids. Like, what is wrong with these two old people playing Tetris?
They would think it's hilarious, though.
They probably would.
Yeah. All
Sorry, I just called you old. They think I'm old.
You know what? I don't mind being called old, and you shouldn't either, because you know why? Because we are like a fine wine, and we get better with every year. If you think about it, you really do get better every year.
You do.
Aren't you happier now than where you were last year?
Yeah.
Yeah. Smarter, more experienced. Hopefully a bigger bank account so you can do more things with the family. You know. Yeah. We get better every year. But when we do play Tetris, here's the deal. We'll play it your way first on the old school console. And then we're going to play it my way in virtual reality, because there is a VR Tetris out
I've
there.
I've never done any virtual reality before, so you might have to give me like a crash. Like, I have to practice a little bit.
No you can practice on the regular Tetris. I'm not going to let you practice.
How is there like a controller? Like, how do you move the pieces?
Just use your mind.
You can't just use your mind. That's not how it works. Can you see? Like, I just have the whole vision of it. my God. I'd be like, Marlon, it's not working. I'm trying to move it.
I have the controller in my hand, racking up my score.
Just like randomly moving my pieces around. Yeah.
That would be funny.
That would be so mean. I can totally see it though.
Yeah, well, I would do that. My friends always, so I have a group of friends that are nerds like me, and I don't know how they do it, but we're in a group chat. They play games all day long. Like literally, they're on Call of Duty all day long, and they're CEOs of like banks and like these big organizations, but yet they play video games all day. I don't get it.
I want to do that.
Anyways, so growing up when I was in high school, I used to play this game called Time Splitters, and it was almost like Halo in a way. You know what that is? First-person shooter, multiplayer versus all that stuff. You're trying to frag your enemy. So there was a particular match that was all about like flamethrowers and fire and all that stuff, right? Okay. And obviously you don't want to get caught on fire. So I picked this match, and obviously, unless you were smart like me, and you picked a robot character that did not. Yes, he could not burn. And it was just like they couldn't figure out why I was just destroying all of them. And then they finally figured out Marlon picked a robot. And like 20 years later, they still give me a hard time about being smart enough to pick a robot in a map full of fire.
Yeah. It's not your fault. It's their fault.
It is totally their fault. They should have been smarter. CEOs of companies and making horrible decisions. How dare they? So we got a lot to do. So I got to pick you up from work or to go to work one day.
Yeah.
We got to play some Tetris in VR.
Yep.
We should try and see if there's like a online mobile version we can play.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Like head to head.
Yeah. And I got to come back whenever you have your cattle, or you
God.
not when you have your
cattle. Have cattle.
when you're getting your beef from the local farms.
I mean, I kind of want to get cattle too, but that's.
Hey, well, you know what? Ashley and I would love to have you come over to our house when we finally have some cattle.
Yeah, I definitely want to check it out.
Whenever that is.
And it won't be some cattle. It'll be like all the cattle.
Oh, at least like 500 heads of cattle.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if I don't have that many, it's not worth it.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I'm an idiot.
No,
Anyways.
It's all right.
No, but seriously, you're an amazing person.
Thank
I
you.
am so glad we got the opportunity to connect. So thank you,
Me
Fork
too.
Farms, for making that happen, else I never would have met you.
I know.
When do I get to see you next? What conference are you going to?
The next conference I think that I'm going to is NLC. National Leadership Conference.
Yes. You will be there because you are a leader.
Yes, I am. I'm trying to think if there's any before that. I feel like a lot of the SNA conferences are like March and later, right?
Yeah. Yeah, for the most part. Yeah. All right, so quick SNA plug regarding events.
Okay.
Why is it important for food service directors to go to these conferences? State or national?
I think just the networking is really the best part. I learn a lot of stuff at the conferences when I go, obviously in the sessions and the general speakers and all that stuff, but I find the most value in networking with people like after the conference, like in the evenings.
Agreed. I love it. That is my favorite thing about really my job, is just getting to network with people, and you get to do so much of it at conferences. And it's like having a distant cousin that you haven't seen in forever, but you're like family, right? So when you finally do get a chance to get together, it's like, oh my gosh, how have you been? But I really know because I follow you on social media. But oh my gosh, you're a real person.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Well, once again, thank you so much for being an amazing host. Hopping on here with me anytime was a pleasure, and we should definitely do it again one of these days.
Okay, sounds good. I didn't talk too much for you.
No,
you'll come back again.
Yes, after I beat you in Tetris.
Even though I called you old.
I am old. Thank you very much. You're pretty old too.
I am.
I'm not that much older than you.
I know.
It's all good though.
Okay.
Fine wine. #fine wine.
Yep.
All right. See ya.
All right. Bye.